So guys, there's things you may know. There's things you may not know. But we're going to discuss this. The real reason as to why you lose friends and family in life on your journey. It's all part of the process. Some people don't want to grow, some people want to grow, some people want to do better for themselves. And it just so happens to be when you are the one that is chosen, that wants to do better for themselves, you will lose friends and family. And it is a test. It's the ultimate test by God. The amount of disrespect you are going to face in the midst of all this chaos is out of this world. It's a wonder why everything makes you feel so sensitive to everything, because the reason why that is because you're already going through a hard time by taking a hard path in life. So when other people make it even harder for you, no wonder why you're so sensitive and reactive to certain things. It makes sense. But it gets better as you continue to go on in your journey. We're talking about the ultimate tests that come before the blessings. We're talking about stages that I was going through some years ago. I know all what it's like. A lot of things can get to you. You got to go through hell, bro. And I mean hell. It's not fun. It's probably the least funnest thing in the world. Right up there. Mentally and spiritually, it's not fun. The tests are horrendous. What you have to go through is horrendous. Because like I said, you're already taking a hard path in life. You're already doing a hard thing. Being disciplined is hard. Choosing the path you've chosen is hard. A lot of other people are just kind of taking the easy way through life and nothing's really doing anything. There's no big change for them. People still look at them the same. People still treat them the same. But since you want to go for bigger and better things, since you have a calling on your life, people want to start to treat you poorly. They want to start to act different around you because of this. And it can really get to you in the beginning stages of your journey. It can make you really emotional and sensitive to almost everything that happens to you. And it makes sense. Because when you're already at that edge, when you're already going through a lot in your personal life, and other things are just adding on to it, it's just a build-up. And nobody from the outside can understand what this is like. I know some younger people right now in their very early 20s going through it. Where I come from, there's not a lot of them, but there's a few of them. And it's a crazy time to go through. I understand them. They're gonna have a very hard path. They're gonna have a very hard life for another at least couple of years. At the least minimum a couple of years is gonna be really hard. Because there's a lot of changes that takes place. It's almost like you're erasing that person you used to be. And you're creating a whole new person. That's what it's like. And a lot of people in life don't have that ability to change who they used to be completely into a new person. A much more stable, developed, stronger, better, wiser version. In like every single way you can think. A lot of people in life just take the easy path. They stay the same. They do not grow. They do not develop. They do not evolve. They act the same with everybody else. Everybody acts the same with them. It's when you want to change is when everything gets hard. everybody around you starts to act different, it's because you're becoming something different. They recognize that, and they don't want it to exist. They want to keep you trapped. Not only your family, but your friends. And you will hit a certain point that you will reach, where at least, most likely, a few of your family members or a few of your friends or new people will accept your change. If you're lucky, a very few of these people will. But you're going to meet a whole lot of other friends in the future as well. That's the beautiful thing about this. It's the hardest thing to go through, but it's the most beautiful thing when you can get on the other side of all this stuff. And I even know how many of you guys are going through something similar to this. Some of the text messages I receive, some of the calls and the speaking that we do on the phone. A lot of people go through a lot of different things, and none of it's easy. I know what it's about. I've been there. And I try to guide you guys as best as I possibly can to make you guys understand what is actually going on and what needs to happen and what is taking place currently. There's not a lot of people that you can get help with on this. There's not. I couldn't get it. I had to figure it out on my own. The complete unknown, complete uncertainty. I had to do it by myself. There's not a lot of people in the world that understand things to this level, to this extent. There's just not. A lot of people, their heads are in the clouds. It's not in reality. And if it is in reality, it's a stupid reality. The mentalities that some people have is just immature. They just don't get it. They don't get life. Because they don't want to grow enough. They're never going to hit those levels they could. Because they just don't want to grow enough. There's something blocking that. With too many people in this world, there's this fine line that most people will not cross. I'm telling you guys now, this is how it is. There's this fine line that most people will not cross. I made promises to myself, significantly younger than I am now, that I am going to do whatever it takes. I am not going to lose. I'm not going to lose. I'm going to do whatever I have to do, without actually knowing how much work is involved, because you never know until you know it. You never know it until you went through it and you never gave up. If we could all look when we were young and see how much work we have to do to get in certain places, I'm not sure if we'd do it. Even if I had to see how much work I had to do whenever I was younger, and I could see like far ahead into my future to see what I had to do and go through to get to where I currently am. It'd be a lot harder. Because you would see ahead and the road and the difficulties of what this is going to be. It would be unbearable just to think about. It'd be like this massive marathon run that you almost know, like, damn, this is going to be damn near impossible. But if you can't see the finish line and you don't know how much work you have to do, you can trick your own brain into taking some serious paths in life. And just going through the motions every single day, every single day, every single day, and never giving up. And this is what it comes down to. Life is not easy. None of this shit is easy. Even the average of average people have it hard to an extent, but there's harder paths, obviously, than others. There's a lot more work you have to do, obviously, than others. A lot more. But everybody has it hard to an extent. There's no such thing as an easy life. There's just easier lives. There's no doubt about that. And there's also much harder lives than what I've went through currently and so far and so forth. We don't know what's coming in the future. Could be the next hardest stuff ever. We don't know. I didn't know what I currently had to go through, what I've already went through to get to now. So what makes me think I'm going to continue to know? You don't know. You don't know how things are going to go. You don't know how things are going to turn. You just don't. You can know to an extent, but you don't know exactly is the point. But there's always somebody always has it harder too. Somebody always does. And somebody always has it easier. So, but I'm just telling you guys, man, like, when you are that one that you really want to grow, you know there's something in you to do. You just know it. You will go for it, and you will be tested by God so hard. He's testing your faith. He wants to see. He's going to say, I'm going to make this so hard for you because I need you to be this strong to put you in this position. Can you do this? I'm going to test you. And you're going to be tested hard. And if you can keep going over that hump, if you can keep passing the tests, He will elevate you and elevate you and elevate you slowly. But you will be elevated. And usually right before you hit certain strides, you're going to be tested the most. A lot of negative things will happen. Trust me, it will. I didn't even think half the things, 1/10 of the things would have happened. But it did. And sometimes it's good not to see what's coming. If we could see the future and see when every single person we know is going to die, that'd be pretty scary, bro. That's why we can't see ahead in time. It's almost good that God made it that way. Because if we could see ahead of time, we'd be living in fear, we'd be living in worry all the time. Knowing when everything's going to come to an end. Knowing when bad things are going to happen all the time. Like today, I just bought a new bike, a nice bike. A pedal bike. Saving gas, doing some things with my bike. I had it for 10 days, counting today, and it just broke. And I just went to the store where I got it. Gave them the receipt, and they're going to give me a new bike. But it broke today. I shifted a gear in the bike. And the chain and the gear, something happened with the gear shift whenever I changed it into a higher gear so it could pedal easier going up a hill. Something happened with the gear shift. Something happened with the chain and all that involved. And the chain has to like snap up into a higher gear. Whenever it rotated, something happened and it all like twisted and bent and snapped. And it like, it did this weird thing and I stopped the bike and it was all in pieces. One of the spokes was broke. The guard on it was broken and snapped. The chain was like bent. The thing holding the chain was bent. A mess. Completely broke. So I couldn't see ahead of time of that happening. And that's just an example. Unfortunate things happen in the future. There's a reason we don't see it happening. Life would be nuts. Life would be nuts. Another example right here, and this is much crazier. Today, one of my good friends, good friends, so not my good friend, but my good friend's good friend, got in a bad accident today, head-on collision. Somebody hit him. And I'm not close with that guy, but my good friend is close with that guy. And he's a partner with him in business with selling some cars and stuff like this. The guy picked up a car to drive it somewhere to sell it. And someone hit him head on. And I don't know his condition at this moment, but last time I was talking to my friend today at 5 p.m., He was unresponsive, but his heart was still beating. He was put in the hospital. My friend is driving 3 hours across the bridge to go see this guy. And that was not his plan today, but he went and did it after he got off work. And he was in ICU, and he was in critical condition. He was unresponsive, so he was pretty much knocked out, but his heart was still beating. I'm pretty sure he is alive at this moment, because my friend would have sent me a text and told me if something deathly would have happened for sure, guaranteed. So I would say he's alive, but it just goes to show that we cannot see what's going to go on, and it's probably a good thing. I would hope all you guys agree, because everybody would be living in fear. Every single thing. We'd just be worried. We'd be sick, nauseous of what's going to happen, because we're going to see it come. We're going to know what's going to happen. It'd be nuts. There's a reason why we can't. Just like a reason why we can't see how much work is ahead with where we have to go. And all the negativity that we have to come across in order to where we need to go. Not being able to see those things is a good thing. It is. Because we probably wouldn't put ourselves through it. Human beings, our first instinct is to protect ourselves from bad things, from hurtful things, from negative situations, from just brutal things overall. We would protect ourselves. And we probably wouldn't put ourselves in certain positions, so it's into the unknown. That's why a lot of people won't cross that fine line in life, because they know it's the unknown. They don't know what's going to happen. They could spend years trying to do something, nothing to show for. And that's just an example. They could do many things, and there's just going to be nothing to show for. They could do all this work, nothing to show for. There's some fear everybody has where they will not cross that fine line. And that's why you have to be ambitious. That's why you have to be courageous and confident in yourself, that no matter what happens, you trust yourself and you will do it. That's the type of faith that I had to have, that a lot of you guys had to have in order to get to where you were going. Faith over fear, man. I looked at myself in the mirror just like a military sergeant, just like a warrior. And I told myself, whatever I have to do, I'm going to do it. I don't care how I feel. I don't care what happens. I will do it. And nothing's going to stop me. I know for a fact I will do it. It's a decision you make in your mind. And you got to be dead honest with yourself. And only you know if you are. I was dead serious with myself when I said I was going to do certain things. And I followed through. Promises made, promises kept. And let me tell you, you will be tested. A lot of your so-called family, a lot of your so-called friends is going to turn on you. And it's unfortunate. Better people are coming anyways. But these are things that will happen. There were so many negative, gut-wrenching experiences with so many different people on the path where you're going. That's why you get to a point where you don't even want to deal with people, because they're so quick to switch up on you for no reason at all, because of jealousy, because of hate, because of envy, because of all these things. They will gaslight you. They will do crazy things. They'll be an ignorant asshole to you, and then whenever you're ignorant back to them because they did something to you first to make you mad, now you're the bad guy. Gaslighting at its finest. That's what a lot of people are like. You can be a super nice person to somebody. The fact that you're being nice, they choose to be a dickhead to you. So when you clap back, now you're the bad person, because they can't take it. You can, they can't. Too much of this stuff goes on. It's just annoying. There's so many things, bro, that is wrong with the world, with people. And all you're trying to do is live your honest best life. And a lot of people are going to try to ruin that. When you take your Leaps of faith. A lot of people's going to try to ruin that for you, discourage you, get you down, get you mad, get you sad. There's so many things that people are going to try to do because you have a bigger set of cojones than they do. And they know you do. And when you come at them with facts, they got no response. They got nothing. Because they ain't about that life. And they will play victim, and they will do whatever they can do to make you look bad, to make you look like you're in the wrong, to do any of these things, because they ain't a real motherfucker like you. Period. So, it's all these tests, man. It's all these things. And if you are a warrior, if you're a chosen one, you're going to pass. And you're going to know damn well it's not easy, but you will pass. And I encourage everybody to be courageous. Go full force forward in life. Do what you got to do. And don't worry about the rest. Because you're the best.